Okay, it is 5:15 on Thursday, January 23rd, and we are having the regular Marketing and Communications meeting in the City Hall Chamber Council. First item on the agenda is to consider approving the minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
And I'll second that motion. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Okay, next item, discuss and consider the November and December revenue and expense reports that are included in the packet. I don't know that there's anything specific on there. Does anybody have any questions on them at all, or?
No, I didn't.
I will comment that during my week in Antigo this week, I noticed their MP3 channel or whatever it is from Spectrum does not operate either, so theirs isn't working either. So with that, I guess I would entertain a motion to approve the revenue and expense reports.
I'll make a motion to approve the revenue and expense reports.
And I will second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item number 2, discuss and consider the business hiring survey. The survey is in the packet, and I'm going to turn it over to Scott Steele to kind of explain the survey and the purpose of it.
Yeah, the survey is intended for us to create a baseline understanding of what's going on with our businesses in Merrill, specifically with regard to understanding if they are getting applications from outside the Lincoln County, Marathon County area, number 1, and then 2, are they hiring folks from that? Those 2 pieces of information will just be helpful as we try to get more metrics to talk about, to share, understand what's working and what's not working. As you can see from the survey, there's some initial areas that we are going to require. We want to know their name, their title, their business, what kind of business they're from. We want to keep it as simple as possible, but we also want to be able to do random verification of the survey when it comes in, because we're going to be using SurveyMonkey. We want to be careful that for some reason some people might get in there and put, my name is, Snoopy, and I hired 27 people. We don't want those kind of surveys coming in. So by doing asking them for their information, we can just pull randomly, and then if we do see any kind of issues, then we can dig deeper. But probably just doing every 20-25 surveys will help us do that. The second part of the survey is optional for them. If they want to give us more information, we'd love to have it. And so we'll make that available for them. And then what we want to do is we want to promote this through the Chamber of Commerce, as well as get the list of businesses that we have through the city and go directly to them, and then have the outreach go that way, so that we don't want to just put out a general note on social media about this. We want to try to keep it business focused, once again, to try to keep it from other folks that maybe aren't having businesses here deciding to have some fun with the survey. And this will be the first baseline we have, and I think it's an important baseline, and hopefully the businesses will contribute. Any questions on the survey, anything you'd want to change? If not, we're going to use free survey, so it's not going to cost the city anything to do the survey other than volunteers' time.
Thank you for volunteering your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, and I think we talked about Sarah contacting the majority of the businesses that are chamber members and other businesses as well, and then, or how?
Yeah, Sarah, I'd work with Sarah in order to get the message out to the chamber businesses, but there's a lot of non-chamber businesses as well. And I've talked with Rod and with Tom and I think one other person who said that we would be able to get access to the businesses that aren't part of the chamber. And we will either, if we have an email, we'll send them an email. If we don't have an email and only an address, we'll just send them a letter asking them to go do it, keep costs down.
Okay, and then Hallie can maybe help on that end of
Yep.
it. Okay. All right, any other comments or concerns about the survey for now?
I just need approval.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the survey.
I will second that. So the motion's been made and seconded to go ahead with the survey, and I think we don't need to forward that to council. We just go ahead and get it going. So,
Tom's seen it. Yeah, legal has seen it, so we're.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and I'll leave it to you and Sarah and Hallie and Rod to kind of coordinate how you're going to do what needs to be done with it then. Okay, item number 3, review the retractable banner design that is in the packet.
So just a reminder what the banner will be used for. When not in use, it could be here at City Hall. But when we go to events, whether it be a Synergy event, a Summit event that's coming up for Lincoln County, other events around the area, it's something that just shows, how great the city is and is a good indication of everything that's going on. Some of the things that I'd like input on is I'm not real happy with all the photos. There's some I would like to have replaced. I think having our clock shot would be a good shot. I think, one of our bridge, we have some beautiful bridges here. I'd love to get some neighborhoods versus just the front of a house. Some of the river trail, so we may have to wait till spring for some of these. I have reached out to Blue Sky Photography and Peter Tesh, and he has donated at no cost photo and said he'd be willing to do more if we needed because it's part of a lot of different photos. So we can get from him. I was going to reach out to Joseph Frederick as well and see if he'd match Peter's offer, and because they have a big variety of stuff, so we might be able to pull some from them. And then the next question is do we want that many photos? Do we want them all the same size? Do we like the design? Just looking for some input. Do we have a couple featured photos and then smaller photos around it? There's a whole lot of ways to approach this. But the overall objective of this was we just wanted to show how much Merrill has to offer and not just 1 or 2 shots.
Does anyone have any comments they want to share on the preliminary?
Yeah, I agree. Maybe that third picture in of the house, it just kind of looks like an awkward photo.
It's actually used twice, just cropped differently, because that's the only shot I had.
Oh, it looks nice. Yeah, it looks nicer in the other one.
Scott, will the banner itself have all of the writing that's down in like that white area of the banner?
Yeah, that's a full-size banner right there,
Okay.
from top to bottom. And it's a retractable, so that means it folds up into a nice little thing that can be stored until used.
My personal thoughts, I think there's too many photos. I understand what you're going for, and I think in comparison, I saw this one that was in the visitor's guide, and aside from the black background, I kind of like the variety of it laid out that way, but that's just my personal opinion on it. I don't like the graduation one because of the way it's cropped. The girl's whole face is covered up by the next person's cap, so it's...
What I'm hoping is maybe Joseph or Peter have some newer graduation pictures. Also, I think what I would want to change on there, primarily because of what you just noticed, was I don't think we have all the squares the same size. I think that we lose some of the imagery impact by doing that. So I think if we have a little bit more variety to the sizes of the images, it could be fun.
Okay.
I think this is a great start.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great start, yeah. But I do agree on the photos.
Getting the rodeo in there, getting the fair in there, getting the palooza in there. It'd be great to have those images in there as well.
I think we have talked about sharing photos with you, and so if anything, to come into the chamber sometime, and I do have a whole bunch from Peter, from Joseph Frederick, that would probably work too.
Okay.
And I know if you go through the Lincoln County Photos Facebook page and you find specific photos on there, that might be good. I know there's lots of basketball. I think Joseph has taken graduation photos, things like that. You reach out personally and say, I want this specific one, and I'm using it for advertising purposes, for getting people to come to Merrill, not like a business advertising.
Right.
Yeah, he's usually really great to work with.
Yeah, he's been, I'm in his photo thing too, and he's been great to work with, so I just think a matter of just asking him.
Yep.
So what I understand is the proceed on this is is variety of sizes of the photos, possibly reduce them, and let's find some photos that show a little bit more of the activities that are going on here and some of the other things that are more landmarkish than this. So I think, like I said, the bridge and, the clock and the Riverwalk, things like that, I think would be helpful.
I really do love like the school one and
Yeah, it was nice.
like even the welding one. Just it does show a variety of like it's a small town in Merrill, like atmosphere. It's not just
And Renee from Freemark has said that I could come in and take some photos of her folks working on CAD CAM and some of the computer programs so we can show some tech job opportunities as well as, the labor opportunities as well.
I think when you have more pictures in there, it makes people stop and look at it and kind of look through it. If there's one picture or two pictures, they kind of gloss over it. I think it makes.
It's kind of like a billboard. A billboard, is 3 seconds. The more you have, the less people are not going to see, honestly. With marketing, doing this for 25 years, the less is more. As you get more, people will just, so, sorry to interrupt, but less is more.
Maybe on a drive-by, but if the banner is standing there, at least they might go over and look at the individual pictures versus just kind of.
But you're showing this at a location where people have lots going on, like a business expo. There's so many things going on that nobody's actually going to stand there and read everything and look at everything because there's so much. It's not like these are going to be displayed at places where, they're waiting in line to check out something. So you got to put in consideration the person's behavior whenever they're looking.
I think what I'm leaning towards is still keeping a decent amount of photos, but having a couple that are your attention getters, a little larger that kind of grab you, and then it's kind of like somebody that goes, to your website or something like that. You get something to grab them, and then they can explore as deep as they want to. But if we hit them with a couple of the bigger images, capture their attention, and then if they see something else there, they can. I do think that the overall, as I was talking to LaDonna, and just the overall same size and quantity is too much. But I also don't want to simplify to the point that we're not able to show. So I think a variety of sizes and emphasis on a couple of key elements would help address what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just because,
I understand.
It's really busy.
So with that said, it sounds like the next step is I'll meet with Sarah and find out what photos are available. I'll check out Lincoln County. I'll head out to Freemark and photograph the folks, and then bring a new one in. The question we have, I'd love to get something of our Riverwalk with a family walking down there, but of course the weather isn't right for that. So I'm hoping that there's something out there.
The Riverbend Trail people might have something too.
I don't.
No?
I wish.
Did you talk to Renee
Renee.
at Lincoln County?
Krieger.
Yeah.
The Discover Wisconsin, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I could check with that. I'll check with her. Okay. Work in progress.
Well, I appreciate you putting all the time and effort into it, Scott. It's nice to be retired, huh?
Busy.
Oh, no, we do appreciate it. Okay, any other comments? Okay, if not, then we will move on to the next item, which is an initial discussion on current marketing strategies and potential modifications. And this, I think this will kind of evolve in conjunction with whatever the city comes up with for the strategic plan, if there's any revisions that they've decided to incorporate into their revised plan that pertain to marketing or pertain to how we approach things. So, I guess, again, Scott's kind of written out some preliminary notes, and I have just a few thoughts of my own, but this is just kind of to get the conversation started a little bit, and then I think we'll follow up probably next month once we have a better idea of what the city plans to do and go from there.
Yeah, what I recommend we do is we kind of go back and just revisit the core elements, our objectives, what our goals are. Are we still on board with that? Have things evolved? Have they changed? Do we, have they shifted? So I think we need to just go back to the beginning, where we're trying to achieve, and make sure that we're still on board with what the objectives are. And then from there, we can start then taking a look at, aligning it with the city strategic plan, also do a review of the creative. I mean, everything should be on the table. I don't, when you do a review, there's no protection. If somebody says, you know what, I think we've run the course on creative, and well, let's talk about it. I think that we need to try this kind of advertising. Well, let's talk about it. So I think that, at this point in time, though, the key is to just make sure that our foundational elements are things that we're still committed to. And then from there, we can take a look at some of the execution and how it aligns with what the city's doing.
Okay, so when you refer to foundational elements, are you saying still kind of the jobs, the housing, and the schools primarily is the
Is
the
our
target?
main objective still to attract and retain? Is it still the same age group that we're still trying to go for? Some of those basic elements that we built this on. Take a look at, a lot of the reports that the Cameo has, are certain things getting more attention. It looks like it's kind of a roller coaster on what's hotter than others, so I haven't seen any real consistent one beating the other. I see, but, we'll take a good look at those and get some input from Cameo and her team on what they think's working, what's not working, and get stuff like that. Talk to, dig in with how he's been doing on social, see if there's anything in there that can help inform us to make this stronger. So there's a whole lot of elements to take a look at, but it really comes down to, are we still trying to achieve the same thing?
Okay. All right, then I guess we'll just start kicking that around in our own heads, thinking about that, thinking if we're missing out on anything, and then we can bring that back to discussion, and maybe you and Cameo and Hallie and I can sit down and discuss that again at another time before our next meeting, so we
I was going to say, maybe get that on the agenda for the next meeting,
Yep.
is to start reviewing this. That'd be good.
Anybody have any other comments or thoughts on it? Rod?
With the strategic plan, we're going to try to make it simple. I think we're almost trying to thread the needle on too many different holes. It's kind of one of the things that, seeing from the feedback, we're making specific comments, and it's hard to measure those things, so we're going to leave it open. And with the city, we don't know from year to year what opportunities we're going to have. We look at housing. Certain years we have several projects going on. Some years with the business community, we have new businesses certain years. So we have to have a 4-year plan that's kind of open to everything. And that's kind of how I've been adjusting it, and we're not going to rehash everything. I'll bring that strategic plan one more time and get feedback, and then we'll make the modifications necessary and go with it. We're not going to throw it away and restart or start over. So I think what the Marketing Communication Committee has been focusing on, it's not going to change drastically.
Okay.
One thing I have heard, and you've probably heard it in your marketing, that try to hit on unsatisfied employees in certain job markets. Job satisfaction is key to get people to move. So I think that's one angle maybe we use. I don't know.
We could, that's a good idea, because, yeah, a lot of people are really unhappy. They're they're going to leave. So maybe instead of just focusing on businesses that are going to be going under, if we hear about anybody that's going to strike, something like that, do you think like down that line?
I don't know that we target it. It's just with my own, I wouldn't say circle, but that's what I've been hearing. People are looking for different opportunities, and it may be a different target. I don't know how you get there.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people, they want to move too because they don't like the school district, in certain areas. And so somehow relate that our school district is,
The positives.
yeah, some way to do that.
I think also what I think I'm hearing you say is that maybe in our messaging, we're talking about, we have great job opportunities, but we have great break rooms or break areas. Maybe we hit a little bit more about, finds not just a job satisfaction, but, life satisfaction as well. So you kind of give everybody that's kind of what I was hearing. That you're
Combination, yeah.
yeah, a combination of saying, hey, there is more out there is a better life for you out there, better opportunities out there for you, and they're here, right here in Merrill.
Okay, well, we'll look to set something up for a conversation in between and kind of go from there and bring something back for the next meeting. Any further comments or? All right, then we will go on to Food Truckapalooza update. I think just for reference, because it's kind of the kickoff for the year again, we'll update, but I think the rest of the updates, unless there's something major, Hallie just will include them in her monthly reports.
Everything is going good. I have 11 trucks confirmed and paid for already and 25 vendors. So the vendors are a little bit slower, but they came in with a bang at the end of the season, or at the end of the time last year too, so I'm not too worried about it. The mayor and I have discussed, and we're going to cap it at 25 food trucks this year. So we will grow, and we're gonna change the layout just a little bit to accommodate those. But we're excited, and the sponsorships are coming along. I just got 2 more today. So, we're happy with how things are going.
That's great.
What's the date for that again, Hallie?
May 17th at the fairgrounds.
Once a month for the whole summer.
Not yet.
Rod wants to help out.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
All right. Then, any other comments or questions on that? Then we will move on to Sarah with an update from the chamber.
Yeah, so we have our 2025 destination guides in. We're calling it Destination Guide this year, not just Visitor Guide. So I do have a box here. If you haven't seen them, take some. Otherwise, Hallie's keeping them all. And we ordered 25,000 copies this year to be distributed all over Wisconsin and into surrounding states. This is 13,000 more guides than what we ordered last year. But we are attending one extra travel show this year, and then we are partnering with some other distribution type companies to make sure that not only is it going to where we normally send, but they're going to get it to even more. But we also got a program on our website now too. It's a flip book, so people are able to go flip through our destination guide, and then any advertisers that are in there, they can click on the ad and it takes them straight to the business's webpage. So again, just increasing the advertising allows for, more circulation and distribution going forward too. So another asset that I think is pretty cool this year. So like I said, we'll be attending one extra trade or travel show this year. So we're going to be at the Green Bay Travel Show, where we'll cover 1 or 2 shifts because we do partner for that one. And then Cedar Falls, Clyde is on his way or getting there shortly right now for the weekend in Iowa. And then La Crosse and Duluth, Minnesota, and then the Madison travel shows. So that'll be over the rest of this month and into end of February. So again, for this, last year we did do Merrill giveaway prize packages for attendees that signed up to win. So if you are a business or you know of businesses that you could reach out to on behalf of the chamber, just asking if they can donate, or if you would like to donate gift certificates or a gas gift card to a local, obviously, place, or, getting hotels stays. We've got rodeo tickets, that kind of thing, just to make that prize package pretty cool. We've had people donate fishing outing for us. Someone's offered to do a grouse hunting or something like that, but just trying to, again, draw people to the Merrill area and have, show them what we have to offer. We are also working on the NFL draft awareness for Merrill. We want Merrill to be everyone's first pick to stay, and thank you, Scott, for helping me with some advertising ads for that. But just, we want everyone to get into the community spirit. We are hoping that businesses will participate and have themed food and beverage, host watch parties, have NFL-themed games, offer promotions, and that type of thing. But yeah, like I said, we are advertising in an NFL draft publication. We know that Green Bay and Appleton area are all booked up, but we have availability here, and it's only about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive, and people that want to go to the draft, we know that they're going to drive that. But we also do have shuttle, one bus reserved for sure, and then we are working with Wausau to potentially have another bus that would be offered as well. So just trying to fill those up, but just show people that we're a fun community, and not only have our residents take advantage of the opportunities, but hopefully draw the outsiders into Merrill as well. So, and last but not least, I just wanted to mention, just because I think it's important for this committee to know for sure, and I know there's other things, the committees that I'm not on, but there are a couple cool things involving childcare that are like launched this month or just recently, but there's an Adopt a Provider program that just was launched through the Dream Up team, and it allows the childcare providers to go on and fill out a survey of different needs that they might be needing, and not just like we need funds or we need this, but a lot of people want to know how they can help. Well, this allows them to go on, and maybe it's just sponsoring some bibs or putting money towards the big crib that they need but only can do so much. Maybe it is volunteering 1 or 2 hours here and there, something to that effect, but just an awesome opportunity I think that we should be highlighting and we should be shouting, because there's nothing like it. It wasn't like we just took it from somewhere. We had to create this. We had to work on getting this opportunity available for our child care providers, and obviously it's the circle of life, basically. Getting help to the child care providers will help hopefully keep costs down, helping child care facilities run, and families getting in. The other thing I wanted to mention too, Elsa Duranzo has the Child Care Coalition. It allows providers to, in the short of it, and Elsa obviously would explain it a lot better, it allows providers to post open slots for the positions or the slots that they would have available. And if businesses know that they might need a slot coming up for one of their employees, they can kind of reserve that spot. So that's just, like I said, a very short of that, but just knowing the marketing community can maybe help with getting the word out on those things. So that was a lot. If anyone has any questions, let me know. But also my newsletter will be coming out with even more information. It's just overwhelming with the amount of stuff going on right now, so.
All right. Well,
Where would we find more information about this Adopt?
Yeah, so childcaring.org is the website that is hosting it. It's a very soft launch right now. They're just kind of getting some feedback. They haven't had any huge donations made yet, but it's for Lincoln County and Langlade County. And you can specifically choose which county you're kind of looking at, and then under each, if child care providers are able to, like I said, to go on, you can see what each child care facility is looking for. So it might just be craft supplies or markers or random things that someone might want to help a child care provider, but they don't know how, and now they're listing what they need. So it's really cool. And again, it's through childcaring.org, so it is a 501c3, so any donations that you would make this way do allow to be tax exempt, right?
Yep. Tax deduction.
There we go.
that might be kind of I'm just thinking as far as, sometimes families wonder what to do as far as memorial gifts or something like that. If they were aware of that, there are some families that would probably be very interested in that.
That's a great idea, too. Out of that.
All right, I guess we'll move on to the monthly reports. So Hallie, if you want to highlight anything in your reports, or if anyone has any questions for Hallie.
I think we're pretty good.
No questions for anybody? All right.
I just wanted to comment, I was excited to see that a lot of the stuff that's going on in the city were the top hits. So, a lot of times we just see the stuff that's kind of, the fun stuff, but that just shows the community is interested in what's going on and that the information that we're putting out on social is reaching people, so good job.
Okay, then we will go on to the monthly reports from Cameo, and I believe this one is the December report. So, Cameo, I guess I'll let you highlight anything you want to highlight on it.
Did you include the recap?
Yep.
Okay. I'm like, after I sent it, I'm like, did I send it so she could open it? Because I know there's certain programs you can't open. So glad it went through. So basically, overall, we served 161,070 impressions. And so out of those impressions, 178 people clicked right from that ad onto you. And so the average click-through is .1111. And then we also had 2 people actually come into the circle that were served ads. So, because we only target the circle. And then we had 138 people that saw your ad, whether YouTube or, on their phone, wherever, that actually went out and physically searched for you. And so that, considering, so we had about almost 200, well, a little over 200 clicks to your guys' website. For YouTube, we're noticing the day of the week is the one that's doing the best, and then the full week. And our completion rate is 97.63. And I don't think I ever mentioned this, but if in the YouTube somebody doesn't complete, it doesn't go against your campaign. So let's say, for example, you have 10 ads and 9 of them were completely served, but 1 of them wasn't. Well, you still have that 1 ad. So anytime that there's not a completion rate, it doesn't go against how many times they're viewing. You actually will get another view. So I thought that was pretty cool whenever I found that out. And I'm like, so they're not all anything. So we've have been doing some 30-second ads because of the fact that in 30 they can click through. And then that way they'll see at least the Merrill, and then they can stop it, and then it doesn't go through your, go against your campaign. So if you want to try doing some 30s, I wouldn't say it would go against you. You know what I mean? So there's an idea there. And as far as schools have the highest click-through, so right now we're seeing schools. So that's well within the above average. And we're still doing, like you said, the fundamentals, housing, school, and jobs. Jobs is lagging a little bit, but I can see why in December, because of the fact that people aren't really thinking about changing jobs right at December. They're thinking about Christmas, Santa Claus, and their kids. And so it's more home-based. But I'm sure that that's going to change around for January numbers, because January, a lot of people, new year, new career. So, is there any questions, thoughts?
I have a question. I know that at last meeting, I had asked if we could get website visits to the Experience Merrill 6 months back forward to see if we're seeing an increase in from when we weren't driving people there to where we are driving people there. So we want to see from our website statistics, are we seeing an increase in that? And second, I know that you were going to reach out to Dustin and see if you guys could figure out why we're showing 0. You're saying, and I'm not questioning what you're saying, there's a disconnect somewhere. I just don't know where it is. But why is it that you're showing click-throughs from your ads that include our pixel to our website? You're showing it, but our site is not showing it.
See, whenever I was talking to Dustin after I left, I think Dustin, because he was talking about Google, I'm talking about your website. You guys are not SEM advertising with us. So we're not serving ads on Google, so
No,
you're not going to see anything.
But my understanding was we gave you a URL, a vanity URL that we wanted when
It's a
somebody.
pixel.
Right,
yeah.
And then when someone would click on that ad, that unit.
And it's showing on our end, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
But
showing
when
on your
he
end. but
was
it's-
talking to me, because I thought about it, and I'm like, he was saying our Google, we're not seeing anything on Google. So I got to talk to Dustin because
that's all I'm
I
asking.
think that
There's a disconnect somewhere.
I think he's looking at your Google, like on your search engine.
Correct.
No?
No, well, it is Google Analytics.
See, and we're doing nothing with Google.
Right, but it's not, it's going through our website. So what Dustin had relayed to me is he thinks that the click-through rate is going so fast through the VG and the DC, or the DG, the
Uh-huh.
URLs, that they're going straight to that Experience More to Life that has the 1,400 views. He thinks it's just clicking through that fast that they're skipping that page.
Okay. I just say, we need, all I'm saying is I'm not
I
looking,
can-
we
I-
just need to figure out a way to measure this, the connection between what you're doing, what you're getting the clicks.
Right.
And the fact that they're visiting there, and we just need to be able to tie the two together, because right now, you're showing one thing, and the city's site's showing another thing, and we just have to find the disconnect, that's all
Right,
I'm
that's
asking.
why I was like, I think he's talking about Google because of the fact he was talking Google Analytics. I'm like, we have nothing to do with Google.
No,
I mean, you
we
guys
should-
could.
We should be
You
able,
always could
we
with
should be
us.
tracking that vanity URL though somehow between you and our site, and that's not happening, and I just don't know why.
Could I get Dustin's email address? Could you send it to me tomorrow? Because then I'll just get Connor and Dustin right away together.
That's probably the best thing right there.
Yeah, because Connor, he's the numbers behind the scenes setting up.
Cameo, when you're referring to, these click-throughs and saying that's above average, what are you comparing? What are other cities of this size?
The national
or-
average for all click-throughs for all digital advertising. And the national click-through rate is 0.05.
That doesn't seem very useful when you say it that way. I mean, I don't know. For
People's attention span.
What it is, what we're doing is they're just doing a national baseline on what's going on. I'm not sure if there's even any other baselines that you could utilize, that have to do with certain populations, towns, municipalities, that might be able to get us an idea on how we're comparing to maybe those areas versus the national, because national takes into consideration things besides just cities and things like that. There's a whole lot of other elements that are in it. So I don't know if you can drill down there more.
That's a good question.
Fair question.
it just seems like, it seems like as high-tech as this world supposedly is that I'm not in, it's like, you would think the click-through rate would be at least 1%, it's 0.1. That doesn't seem, in the
Well,
greater scheme
there's
of
a lot of
things.
people that do advertising for digital with companies that do it very poorly. You guys all are on Facebook, I'm sure. And like, you're a unicorn. But I'm getting served ads for welding equipment out of Michigan and Minnesota. And then I'm getting served ads for trucking companies for units to put on your building. I don't know why I keep on. So what it is these people, they're saying, oh, well, you can spend advertising with us, and they don't actually filter it. So then these ads are getting served to people that doesn't matter. So that's the thing with us. We make sure that your ads are getting served where they need to be served.
Okay, so along that line of questioning then, for every ad that I click off and say, stop bugging me with this thing, does your
No, because we're not on Facebook.
does your system count that? Okay, but in other realms besides Facebook, does your
Nope.
system count how
You-
many people say, I don't want to see these ads anymore, leave me alone?
You can't click off of, you can just move it on your page, but you can't just
You can't exit.
there's no exiting.
So just to go with, to talk about what Cameo was talking about, Facebook and LinkedIn, if a company doesn't do it correctly, and I just got done doing this as a consultant for another company, their objective is to get you to spend as much money across as many target markets as you can. And so that way, if somebody put down communications as one of their target markets, that's why she's getting it, even though she's not the right one. You're actually better off going against their recommendations and niching it and narrowing it down to get more out of it and to get more success out of it. If they try to sell you on like 50 different titles and then 50 different industries to broaden your dollar, and then you're going to people that really don't matter. So she's right. There's a lot of companies that do it bad. poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions for Cameo? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to place the reports on file.
Make a motion to place the reports on file.
Thank you.
I will second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and the last item is public comment. Anyone with public comment? Anyone online? Hearing none, then we will meet again on Thursday, February 20th at 5:15 for our regular committee meeting. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I will second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.